Good evening, dear students and learners. Namaskar. You all are watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel NCRT Official. And I am Kusum Prasad. So, dear students and learners, this is our Sahyog session, and today's topic is developing resilience is the new way of coping exam stress. So, before we start this session, we want to share a very important announcement with you. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023, a nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in our history as it seeks to play an important role by finding pragmatic global solution for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifests the true spirit of Vasudev Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So, this was the message, and we move to our Sahyog session, and as I told said that the today's topic is developing resilience is the new way of coping exam stress, and Sahyog is a very special session in which we talk about the mental well-being of the students and also try to provide psychosocial support. So, to discuss on this particular topic and to give guidelines, our experts are, our first expert is Mr. Prasanta Kumar sir. Namaskar sir, welcome.
Namaskar, good evening madam.
Good evening sir. Sir is PGT Physics and practicing counselor from Odisha. And
Yes.
our second guest is Dr. Lakshmidhar Behra sir. Namaskar sir, बहुत बहुत स्वागत.
Namaskar,
Good evening.
namaskar. Good evening to all the viewers.
जी sir is professor and head department of education RIE Regional Institute of Education NCRT Bhubaneswar. Dear students and learners, you can send your queries, your feedback on our various medium. You can contact us on our phone number, that is 8800440559, and you can also email us on our email ID, that is sahyog.ncrt@ciet.nic.in. and apart from this, you can also drop your messages, your queries, your question on our YouTube channel NCRT Official. So, we are going to begin this session, and my very first question is to Professor Lakshmidhar Behra sir. Sir, what is exam stress and what are its causes, sir?
Yes. Stress is a feeling of emotional as well as physical tension. And when we talk about examination stress, it refers to worries, feelings, tension that comes from test-taking situation. And mostly when we talk about this, so students are worried how they will be appearing examination, they're worried about their preparation. So all these are factors with regard to the examination stress. And when we talk about causes of stress, so we can say that sometimes there is lack of well preparation among the students, and due to a lack of preparation they face problem, and there is tension among them, there is pressure how to write examinations, and sometimes some of the internal factors like the lack of self-confidence among the learners. So it is a factor which is causing stress. And due to lack of interaction with teachers and parents, so sometimes also it is a factor with regard to examination stress. And one of the most important factor we can say, the students, they lack the time management skill, and they face problem how to manage the time, particularly before the examination, during the examination. So they face the problem. And when we say about those students, those who are affected by stress, and this may be causing unwillingness to interact with parents and teachers, and they think always about the past experiences, and they try to avoid some of the new tasks, new situation that may be one of the symptoms or one of the activities which is done, and they're worried about things not in their control, and sometimes their daily schedule and the day-to-day activities are affected because they sometimes could not perform some of the previous tasks. Yes?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Nowadays, there are so many expectation from the parent sides from the for the children, sir. So, my next question is to Prasanta sir. Sir, how does parents' expectation bring stress to their children, sir?
Yes.
Normally, every parent expects that their child do well and excel. It is but natural. But at the same time, what happens? Children are not given freedom to choose the career of their choice. It is imposed by their parents, which creates stress among them. I recall one incident. One of my colleagues was there in one school. After class 10 examination, one student scored very well. He wanted to pursue commerce in his plus 2 career. But his parents wanted that he should go for science. So what happened? Parents took the child to the science teacher and requested the science teacher to counsel him to take science. The dilemma was, at the same time, the student took his parents to the commerce teacher and told the teacher, "Sir, please counsel my parents. I want to pursue my career in commerce." What happened at last? The child was succeeded, the parents was convinced, and he pursued his career in commerce, and he completed his chartered accountant, and he got very good job abroad. So, what I want to say that parents should not impose their objectives and ambitions on the children. Rather, children should be given choice of their interest. Madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Professor Lakshmidhar, sir, how does fear for the future career of students bring stress for them, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, when we talk about fear for future, because nowadays the students are appearing the class examinations, other examinations, and the future, particularly career, as Mr. Padhi was mentioning, the counselor he was mentioning. So, future career, which stream they will be taking, and sometimes there is a dilemma how to select the career. So, this creates problem. And particularly when we talk about coping with stress and future careers, so it is essential that there should be increase in tolerance level, particularly tolerance level of teachers, caregivers, parents, others, and how the support from parents and teachers can be taken care of. And we can say that for this doing exercise every day, eating healthy and sleeping well, it is also essential. And as I was mentioning earlier also, focus on time management, which is one of the important factors. And rather than always be having worry about some things, about past experiences, we have to avoid this. So this is one of the important things I can say.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Prasanta, sir, we want to know that how can students cope with the stress, sir, and how can time management help students to overcome stress?
Yes, as Lakshmindra sir was telling, nowadays students are coming under stress. Those students are coming under stress who are irregular in their studies, they lack in their time management skills. That is why at the time of examination they get into stress. So it will be advised for them, they should make a proper timetable, everyday timetable, they should stick to it, they should complete it every day, and they should increase their tolerance level, they should be calm and cool, they should not be reactive, they should be in a position to adjust to the present situation. They should do exercise every day, they should eat healthy, they should sleep well. Nowadays what happens, late night study has become a fashion. But when we were students, we were sleeping early, getting early. And the rhyme, famous rhyme is there, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. So students should follow that. They should not make late night study, they should not get up late in the morning, which hampers their timetable, as well as academic atmosphere is hampered. That is why they should avoid all these bad habits. And constantly they should take support from parents and teachers. It means whenever there is an issue, they should open up themselves in the presence of their parents as well as to the teachers. Some family issue, from psychological issue, they should discuss with parents, and some academic issues, they should discuss with teachers. So, time management is of two types: during the examination and before examination. Before examination, they have to plan their homework, school time, own time, game time, etc. But once exam starts, they have to study one subject every time during the gap. So once the exam starts, they finish one by one exam. By that they gain momentum and confidence. So stress gradually is removed. That is why it is rightly said that they should avoid some habits during examination, like they should keep themselves away from social media. They should take some gap during their study time, preparation time. And whatever time they make for every day, they should complete it before going to bed. This way, time management, if they practice it effectively, definitely stress will be minimized. Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Prasanta sir, what is the role of the teacher, sir? How can teachers support their students to overcome stress, sir, during exam time?
So teachers and students are very important personnel involved in teaching learning process. As I told earlier, normally students who are not regular in their studies, who do not manage their time properly throughout the year, they come into stress. Of course, teachers are always there to help them. We call them as supportive learners or slow learners. Always we teachers running behind them to help at the neck of the moment of the examination. What we used to do, we call them, we used to tell our childhood experiences to motivate them, to inspire them, so that they feel comfortable, they feel confident. And what we do, some easy portions of the syllabus in every subject we used to pick, and we used to make them practice, so that they get the examination passed very easily. For that, the role of the parents is also important. They should always give important time, quality time to their children, so that children feel comfortable. It is joint responsibility of parents and teachers for the overall development of the children. So teachers can give variety of resources, study materials to the children at the time of examination, which is of very much advantage for students. And one most important thing is that the teachers should recognize the positive attributes of students. Instead of discouraging them, we should appreciate them, their effort. And we should be flexible so far as their submission of assignment is concerned. So gradual improvement should be recognized. They should be given incentives, they should be praised, they should be given emotional support, so that they gain confidence. And what we used to do, we make sometimes small tests. We call it as sleep test or chapter-wise test. So when students appear chapter-wise test, they do well and feel confident, so that at the last, the summative examination, when they appear the exam over the whole syllabus, they do well. So teacher's role is of paramount importance. At the same time, the children called slow learners or supportive learners, they should come up and open up themselves in front of the teachers and follow the instruction of the teachers, so that definitely they cope up and overcome stress and gain confidence for the examination.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Professor Lakshmidhar, sir, how can parents support their children to overcome stress, sir?
Yes. So as it is already said, we can say that parents play a very crucial role, and sometimes the parents' pressure is playing a lead role for exam phobia as well as this exam pressure and stress among the students at all stages of school education, may it be at lower stages or higher stages of school education. And sometimes acquiring a good score is regarded as a prerequisite. So parents pressurize their children and they pressurize that they should score high marks, and due to this there is a competition culture. And nowadays also we found sometimes due to the coaching culture, the coaching institutions, there are competitions, and due to these competitions also there are pressures among the students, particularly students at secondary and senior secondary stages. And sometimes parents, they want that what their dream was, if they have not fulfilled, they could not fulfill that one, so they think that the children should fulfill all those dreams. And even if they are able to pursue their desired fields, sometimes due to parental pressure they also face problems. And we can say that children should be encouraged to follow their dreams instead of their parents' dreams, we can say. If there will be always they will be following the parents' dreams, which is a common situation nowadays in many places, so it creates pressures. And sometimes the children, they are confused because of parental pressure as well as some of the systemic problems. And the question here is how they will be taking help from the parents. The students, particularly adolescent students, secondary school students, how they will be taking help from the parents. So they will be taking help from the parents with regard to setting of clear and specific goals, and how to ensure that all these goals will be fulfilled and how they will be completing the task. So the teachers, they are helping the students breaking the task into smaller tasks and individual based learner specific task, and they can support the parents, and by this parents will be helping the children. And all of us, we know that sometimes there is a gap between teachers and parents, and we found sometimes that the school teachers, sometimes they may blame the parents, parents will blame the teachers, instead of all these blame games. So the students' connection with school and teachers and understanding each other, probably it will be a lead, playing a lead role in reducing stress among the students. And as we were discussing time management part, so preparation of specific routine task. And when we are preparing routine task and learning task, so the parents can be helping. So here the question arises that when we are talking about the parents, there are parents, those who are from high socioeconomic status, middle socioeconomic status, or lower socioeconomic status. So status sometimes may not play a role, and if the parents, they have positive attitude, so they can be helping. And talking to the children for their emotional well-being. So it is one of the important tasks. And last to last year when there was COVID situation, so for emotional well-being of children also, many of the contents, many of the topics, there is learning loss among the school students. So parents, apart from the teachers, they can play a role and they can help their children in this context.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next question is for Prasanta, sir. Sir, what is the role of counselor during exam time to overcome stress, sir?
So far as the role of counselor is concerned, it plays an important role in school education. Whenever students are in stress, maybe family problem, maybe academic issues, maybe emotional problem, so they used to come to the counselor, and counselor finds the solution to it with the help of the parents sometimes if needed. So the most important criteria or the characteristic of a counselor is that many students come to the counselor for different problems. The counselor should maintain his confidentiality of every problem of every student. so that their self-esteem is restored. So when students are counseled, they are learned how to live with peace and harmony with the community and the family and with the school and with their peers. And whenever the career issues comes, they are given career guidance at proper time so that they can opt their career of their choice. Of course, parents can take a role here to advise, to support, not to impose. So, sometimes it is needed that parents have to be counseled. Parents are also called sometimes to school along with the children, and counselor who to counsel them for any family problem or any psychological issue. That way, counselors help the children in many respects, by which the children overcome stress, maybe in the time of examination, maybe of any time of the year. The most important thing is that students are in the school for academic development. Whenever they have academic problem, counselor can play a bridge role between the subject teacher and the student. Sometimes the slow learners, they used to feel shy and they do not come to the subject teacher. At that time, the counselor take the help of the subject teachers and takes or plays a mediator role so that the academic issues of the learner is resolved. This way, counselors are of great help in resolving stress or issues of students many times.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Professor Lakshmidhar, sir, we want to know from you that, how to overcome negative thoughts before exam. So, please throw some light on this.
Yes. So when we talk about these negative thoughts, so the question arises from where does the negative thought comes? So when we think about this, so negative thoughts sometimes it comes due to the interaction with some of the peer groups. So when the child or the student has pressure and interacting with some of the students, and when there is more and more comparison, so these times negative thoughts comes. And in this context also the media plays an important role, positive as well as negative role we can say. So negative thoughts, many factors are responsible, some of the home related factors, school related factors, and the student, if they will be utilizing the time effectively without having all these negative thoughts, and that will be more beneficial. And we were discussing about role of the professional counselor. The professional counselor, particularly the NCERT nowadays in the Diploma in Guidance and Counseling program, so we use the model, teacher counselor model. Each and every school teacher is a counselor, and so the school teachers, they have to identify the negative thoughts of the students, not only related to examinations but also related to other academic and other related activities. And sometimes there is a negative thought among the students that the curricular activities, they say, although now in NEP 2020 it is said that all the activities are curricular activities, there is no other curricular or co-curricular activities. So all the activities are curricular activities. Sometimes we give importance to some subject and some curricular areas, and sometimes games, sports are neglected, and the National Education Policy 2020 has very rightly emphasized on arts and sports integrated pedagogy. So if proper planning will be made, so we can say that the teachers, parents, the professional counselors, so they will play a combined role, collaborative role to reduce negative thoughts among the students.
Yes, so thank you, sir. Sir, we want some tips or suggestion you want to give to our students who are watching us and they are preparing for the exam, sir, in a very brief, sir.
My suggestion will be there is no substitute for hard work. So they should be involved in hard work, and that should be a continuous process. So they should not think that only hard work during the examination 5-10 days, and so that will be not useful. And there is no shortcut for success, we can say. So focus on your study. If you use your time judiciously, effectively, and you will be succeeding in examination. And if you have any problem, so don't be tensed. So please try to adjust with the situations, and that will be helpful for your development, holistic development as well as career.
Thank you, sir, and it's time to wind up the session, sir. Thank you for guiding our students and learners, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, thank you, Prasanta, sir, and thank you, Lakshmidhar, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, dear students and learners, before we wind up this session, we want to share a important announcement with you. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in our history, as it seeks to play an important role by finding pragmatic global solution for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest the true spirit of Vasudev Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So dear students and learners, it's time to wind up this session. So take care and namaskar.